All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you guys are. I see you guys jumping in here. I'm so excited today. We have an amazing special guest today. Zoe Davenport is here. I'm going to let Zoe tell you what she does because I know that there's so many broad terms for like ascension guide and stuff. And what I've come to know is that we all get these, like, there's really a niche kind of that develops and then that constantly changes too, right? And so please, and welcome to all you guys. I see you guys blasting in here. Thank you for giving Zoe a warm love train welcome. Zoe, welcome to the love train.
Thank you. That's so great to be here, everyone.
So can you
Mm.
tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing? Like, and I know it's really now, right? Because it shifts for all of us, I know.
Yeah, so currently, what I've been doing for the past few years is mentoring clients privately and hosting private immersions and retreats and group multi-sensory experiences, either in person or live online. And currently, I'm putting together the next round of the 21-day frequency accelerator, which starts on April 22nd, which is 21 days to raise your frequency. So it's tips, tricks, and tools and how to get into a more resonant and harmonic field with your higher timeline, your future version, and creating the space for that. So it's very specific energetic practices that we go through every day. And I'm working on some things in the background, launching a podcast quite soon. And we'll be putting together some pop-up events as well. I started to put them together last year in Mexico and LA. And I want to put some more together this year as well to get the community in person and still doing like in the backgrounds, working with the land, doing grid work, visiting ancient sites and places, and yeah, sitting in meditation and prayer in those places and working with the energy grid system as well of the planet.
Oh, I love that.
So a few things.
Just a little bit,
Yeah.
just a few things on your plate. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. That is so cool. And I love hearing all this. And I'll tell you, I'm going to share a story of how you helped me. And I don't even know if I shared this with you. So I first found Zoe, it was a talk show I heard you on. It was with Carrie. She was so
Oh,
wonderful. Remember
yeah.
her?
Hmm.
And there was a place where you could type in a question. And then if you could you were like on the phone, I think, and then you took the question. And I remember at the time, my intuition was online. I was already mentoring people and stuff. And yet I was like, and I said to you, why do I feel like I can't, this self-love, this love that other people describe, I just feel like I'm not connecting with it. And you guided me and said, I'm getting guidance that you need to go to a lake. And I was living in LA at the time. And I remember
Yes.
you and you
I
followed it
remember
up with,
this.
you said, wait a minute. You said it's not the ocean. You were like, "No, it's definitely a lake." And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to like Google what lakes there are. And it was so cool because, and the reason I'm sharing this story, guys, is that, and including if some of you want to ask Zoe a question coming up here as we're doing this together, um, sometimes when we're seeking guidance, we think an entire playbook's coming. And in this case, it was go be still at the lake.
Mm.
And that little piece absolutely peeled open a whole new layer for me. And what ended up happening was I was looking at different lakes and I found this one lake called Lake Shrine. And I was a huge fan of this book, Autobiography of a Yogi. I had read it like 3 times. And I said, Lake Shrine. Oh, that looks beautiful. That's the lake I'm going to go sit and be still at. And literally that same day, the book fell off my bookshelf in my living room onto the floor. So then I was like, okay, now I know I'm going. And when I went and looked, there was a women's retreat happening that weekend. It was all day long. The moment I walked into the building, you could feel love. I was like, and I was sitting there, Zoe, like in tears. This feels so good. And all of these women were consoling me. And I'm like, no, I'm not sad. I'm like, this was the feeling. And then it was beautiful because I had the day to go sit by the lake. They had some, like they have some of Gandhi's ashes there. And there's a shrine to Gandhi and beautiful swans on the lake. And it was that, okay, this is that unwavering love that I knew existed. And it was it really was a massive turning point for me. And I was so glad that I call this the noodle, Zoe, when we get into the fight or flight, right? I call it only makes noodle soup. It tells terrible lies and it makes noodle soup. And I was like, I wanted to be able to just feel that and trust the guidance and just go do that and know that other signs come in. And so, yeah, so that was such a great piece. And I still listen, even though I'm in Cabo now, I still listen online to some of and the monks are very funny. So it really was
Mm.
suitable for me and my journey.
Oh, I love that. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, as you started to share the answers to the question, I remember the call now because my brain was like, oh, because I see so many people, but I do
Yeah.
remember faces. And, thank you for taking action on that as well, because sometimes people ask questions or we're in these spaces of uncertainty. We're not sure what the next steps are. And then we get these like this guidance. Sometimes in this case, it was you asked an intuitive question, I gave an intuitive answer. Sometimes it's our own intuition giving us that guidance. But so many lack the ability to actually take the action based on that intuitive hit. You did, and you followed the breadcrumbs. You allowed the mystery to unravel into the most beautiful journey possible that you could not have imagined, or you couldn't make it up. And now on the outside of that, the receivership of that experience based on taking the action from the intuitive hit, it's boom, 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 right? It's like these
Oh,
threads of consciousness knitting and weaving together, aligning you back into your soul's journey that's aligned for you. So it's amazing.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And it's interesting, and I wanted to share that too, because I know there's moments in the journey, right? And especially as we gain knowledge, then you're like, wait a minute, how come they're experiencing that and I'm not, right? You have to get out of that comparison mode and know that it's really your journey and it's very personal to you. And,
Yeah.
can you share with us some of the things that you're seeing? Like, what are you seeing with your clients and people that you're having interactions with?
I'm finding at the moment this kind of distrust in the divine timing of things and the allowing of the flow to open up in a way that's not forced, that's not kind of barging our way through, but to simply allow and accept. And I feel sometimes the mind wants to play tricks on us to create this unnecessary emotional and energetic storms. Then the mind wants to base it on, the global events, micro events, and it creates this kind of upheaval and a lack of grounding and future vision. And we are here to be masters of our craft, of our minds. We are here to be masters of matter. And so we talk about wanting to live in these higher states of consciousness. We talk about wanting to live in 5D, and we talk about wanting to escape the matrix. What that actually means is a shifting of consciousness. It's a shifting of an emotional state through awareness of now, through awareness of self. Okay, how am I choosing to respond to external events? How am I choosing to respond to my expectations of where I thought I would be by now? Where am I tolerating things that aren't in alignment to that future vision that I truly desire? And where am I in the emotional storms based on the externals? So unfortunately, today, most people get their news about external reality through social media. Now, social media is specifically designed to invoke emotional responses because it's like a gambling machine. It wants to keep your attention. It wants to capture your focus long enough on certain events and things. And so when we study quantum physics, we understand that if we focus on something long enough, and a particle, that will actually have an effect based on our thoughts. And so we want to disconnect as much as possible to what we perceive reality to be. Now, this isn't bypassing and it's not gaslighting. We want to detach enough so that we can feel our own emotional field. We can feel our own emotional sense of self, our energetic sovereignty, our grounding. And I was doing this practice with a client the other day because she'd said, I've spent months, like last year, I felt really connected to spirit. I feel really disconnected. I feel like I'm questioning my identity. I'm questioning my spirituality. She was in a washing machine.
Yep.
And so we want to peel back the layers of expectations of how we think it should look in terms of connecting and really channel in our own range of energetic potential, our own range of frequency. So how I describe it is we're anchoring into the earth and we're anchoring into the cosmos and we're activating that toroidal field through conscious breath. And we're also channeling that golden light frequency through the heart portal. When we start to do this and visualizing this almost double helix spiral, it's opening up our energy centers and it's activating our DNA strands through conscious words, through conscious speaking, through conscious emotional states of feeling good in that moment, and then go and look at the external reality from a space of observership and how we can emotionally plug in a different set of creative ability through that central golden light channel. And if I'm saying this quite fast, it's just because I'm bringing the information through from my higher self. And so what's also coming through is the mind always wants to overcomplicate our connection to spirit. The mind always wants to overcomplicate our next steps. The mind always wants to overcomplicate absolutely everything, put the roadblocks in, and leave somebody feeling disconnect, emotionally distraught, and in a puddle on the floor. All emotions are valid. The human spectrum of emotion is absolutely valid. Allow yourself to feel all the feels. And then, how do you choose to feel differently? What are the action steps that you choose to take moving forward that is aligned to what you truly desire? So it can be really easy to self-sabotage and self-abandon self when self is feeling emotionally overwhelmed by the collective consciousness of reality. And I will preface, we are not here to clear the collective consciousness. We are here to embody mastery over our own emotional state. We are here to embody our sovereignty. And that is the energetic expansion and ripples that has effects on the collective field. And so these terminologies of I'm an empath is putting foot into this past version of a spiritual awakening where, oh, I feel your pain. Let us replace that with compassion. Let me help you. Let me help myself, right? Mm-hmm. And again, this is part of the story that the mind loves to spin, right? Oh, what's happening in the collective field? And we're allowed to feel compassion and empathy for the world. Of course we are. And the action steps that we choose to take from an emotional grounding and sovereignty are the actions that create solutions on this planet. We create conscious businesses. We bring a message out into the world. We are a galactic federative force to be reckoned with, that we energetically gather together in telepathic higher self union and form. And then we're out here in the world in these different spaces and places and time in this physical reality, anchoring in these new energetic potentials in this new energetic alignment of what we're calling in. And so the potential that we have is unlimited. And yet we contract ourselves when we limit ourselves to thinking that there is not more than that.
Yeah. So well said.
Thank you.
So well said. And I have to tell you, it's so on point with stuff that I've been guided to share. Last week, I do a focus group on Thursdays, and we meet. And it's such a beautiful thing. We create an energetic container, and my guides bring in activations. And literally last week, Zoe, the activation was about timing and how time's not linear, and that we can expand time. And you were so spot on, because that belief and trust in divine timing is so key. We're used to this now, where is it? And then that's contracting your energy right away. I love the term that you use, masters of matter, because that truly is what we are when we expand our energy to what it's really capable of expanding into. We are directing the particles of creation to come to us. It's not a go get, it's not an effort, it's not a struggle. And I love that term. I wrote that down. And I also love that you wrote, how are you responding? And I love that because it's such a great, and for those, this is great for anybody that thinks you're stuck. We can never be stuck energetically. Our consciousness is diving forward, diving forward. And so for me, one of the ways that I can see, I always can see my own personal growth. Number one, I don't analyze it. I love that you said be the observer. I am like a proponent of that because when we become the observer, you're automatically present. You can't be in here and be the observer at the same time. And it's observing, okay, what is going on here? Am I okay? Where am I at right now in this now moment? The now moment is where we do create. And that's been a big message recently, though my guides call it the illusion of linear time.
Mm,
And we practice, how do you expand a moment, being fully present in it, and then adding layers to it. And when you expand that moment, it's the truth is, they say time flies when you're having fun. It's the truth is time expands when you're having fun.
mm,
And when you're in your heart space, it's
mm-hmm,
like really energetically the most beautiful magic happens there. And so, yeah, it's being present and being the observer is key. It really is key. And I love that you talked about, how we share in the gift, because I always, anybody who's had a private session with me in here knows, I always say you must give it to yourself first. When I share things in my community, it's because I've practiced it. When I get activations, I do the activation on myself first. And because I like to, I'm like my own crash test dummy. Let me see, run me into the wall. Let's see what happens. But it's true that our gifts were meant, it was meant for you. It's always be it first. And I never truly understood that until I started doing it. And so if you're observing a condition or situation, outward, it's how are you choosing to respond now? Are you choosing fear? Or are you choosing love? And then if it's throwing you for a big loop, can you just come and go, okay, wait a minute. I recognize that I'm about to freak out here, but now I'm going to be the observer. Let me slow everything down. And I think that's the key, right? Is just slow it down, bring everything in right in this now moment. Are we okay? And what am I giving my energy and focus to? Because everything that we're seeing that is not pleasing or is concern, it came to be because of a lot of fear. And so yeah, I think it's observing what's going on. You can absolutely have compassion. We're not meant to fix anybody else's emotions. You're meant to feel and heal your own, right?
yeah, absolutely. And it's it's a work in progress because our minds expect us to just have figured it out already, or to be these expanded multidimensional masters of light and matter and collapsing time and jumping timelines and quantum shifting and yet we have these very raw and emotional human experiences and moments, and things feel like they take forever. And I want to touch back into this concept of divine timing. So yes, divine timing, and to expand on that divine timing, but what are the actions that we're taking towards that divine timing, right? And so bringing back to the question you had asked on that show, you took action on the divine timing. And so the divine timing was able to open up. And, if I give an example of, okay, a woman wants to meet the man of her dream. She's been feeling him or her person, however, whatever your thing is with dating, that, visualizing, and it hasn't turned up yet. And there's this system of divine timing of, it will show up when it shows up. We have to meet the universe halfway. And so sometimes I see women in this example get a little complacent, like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there to date because I'm waiting for my person. Oh, I don't want to like go on dates because I'm going to wait for my person. And sometimes opening ourselves up through action allows us to be in the pathway to bring that in. And it's the same with finances. Someone would say, oh, divine timing with more money in my life. I'm like, okay, get specific. What is the exact number that you need? And write it down so that you've given it a purpose. You've given it a meaning. You've given it a direction, because money is flow. It's an
Yeah.
energy. It's a very feminine energy. And so the divine timing with that is, yes, divine timing, that we overestimate what we can get done and create in a year, and we underestimate what we can get done in a decade. And so these are more kind of like those human actionable pieces into this play of divine timing, and getting really, really specific and clear so that divine timing can match our desires. And then on a day-to-day basis, the consistency of how am I consciously choosing to show up and shifting my emotional state to feel good about myself in resonance, that all of my desires and all of my these little intuitive hits that I've been getting around a partner or around finances or around travel and starting my own spiritual business, taking a course, leaving a person, selling a house, buying a house, going to the beach, and it's opening up that channel of flow so that we're not missing those intuitive hits,
Yeah.
right? And I've seen this and I've challenged people many times. I remember someone years and years and years ago, when you naturally have just been doing what you do, right? And so this was about 20, 22, 24 years ago. I lived with a group of people, and Matt was very single for many, many years. And I said to him jokingly, you've got to create space if you want to meet your woman. You just have to. When a woman comes into your room, where's she going to sleep? You've not changed your bedding for 10 years. You've got floor to seat. There's no drawer for her. And I said, she's not going to just come and knock on your door one day. You need to create the space to invite her in. And so we spent 2.5 days decluttering his room, because I used to love that, like going through people's things, because it's clearing karma, right? We
Of
found loads of
course.
we
Yeah.
found loads of money. We got him new bedding, a new bed. Like, it looked beautiful. I then went abroad, and 3 months later, a woman knocked on the door because she got the wrong house. And that was then his partner for many years, and they had 2 children together. So
See, made space.
it's
Are
the
you
action
ready to
steps.
receive it? Yeah, and are you
Yes.
ready to
Yes.
receive it? I love that. And I use that. I always follow when my guides give me stuff, because I know now I'll say to them, show me an example of this.
Mm,
And they'll guide me, and it's for me it's always like a heart-based action, and the way I describe it is, what do you want to do? The things we want to do, those are heart-based activities, versus if you get into the should and the have to, you're already in your head, because that's not a heart-based activity. And when you do that, it's like you said, you align. You're now in alignment with divine timing, to where, and then are you ready to receive it, right? And so it's that space. And I give an example of one day I was like, I found out they had pickleball here, and I was like, before I left LA, I wanted to play pickleball. And I went there, Zoe. It took a lesson, instantly loved it, played for like 2.5 hours. And I said, oh gosh, I love this. Well, I know I'm in my heart space. This is beautiful. And I, what it does is it leaves you breadcrumbs though, right? And so the example that my guides gave me, and by the way, so the amount I invested in the membership, Zoe, it came out of nowhere, a refund from some place that I was not expecting, had nothing to do with this business for 2 years. The exact amount I invested in the pickleball came in. And that's that divine timing. I did something heartfelt, and without expectation. That's the key. I
mm,
didn't go there thinking, oh, if I hit a pickleball, I'm going to make some money. No, that's not how it works. I'm expressing. And my guides gave such a cool example of, they would say, like, a friend of yours might ring you and say, would you like to play tennis today? And you go, oh wow, that sounds good. But then you get in your head and go, oh, I haven't played in a long time, I'm not going to do well, blah blah blah. So now that now moment is gone because you talked yourself out of it. Versus if, okay, oh, I love tennis, I haven't played with in a while, but that's okay, this is my friend, let's go have fun. And that you were desiring an apple, and you get to the
Mm,
tennis court and you're playing, and your friend says, by the way, I was calling you, I was at the farmer's market and saw these beautiful apples, and I have an apple for you.
love that.
And I love that because it's, it's a very simple form of it, but that truly is, when we do those heart-based things, you know, that it's, you got to be in slow motion to see the breadcrumb though, and then
Yeah,
go, oh, this feels good. And I'm going to take that moment, because it's always the now. So
yeah.
it's not, oh, that sounds like fun. Let me scribble that on a to-do list. You've now missed the now moment because you didn't align with the taking that action. And I think
Mm.
that it's recognizing, like you said, that subtle piece. And it's, oh gosh, this is, and it's amazing how they show up for you. Like, the support that exists is wild, and they're just waiting for us. They're waiting for us to pick up that breadcrumb because there's a bakery behind it. And right? And it's infinite. It just goes.
I love that. Yes, I love that. It's the marrying of the two, right? That beautiful action, that beautiful divine timing, and opening back up to the magic and mystery of life. And that is what allows us to step into those greater versions of ourselves, right? If I had $1 for every time someone was like, had given themselves such a hard time around what their purpose is, that the word purpose feels really dense and heavy now. I'm like, let's redefine what purpose means. Like, oh, I've got to do my soul work. Great. Are you in joy right now? No, I'm overwhelmed. Let's focus on that first.
It's true. Your soul's not overwhelmed. Your
Yeah.
soul's in pure love and light.
Yeah. Your mind has complicated it again.
I love that. It's true. It's true. And we don't, I've been guided that we all have the same inner purpose, and and that's self-realization.
Yeah.
And the outer purpose too changes as you grow and evolve. And
Yeah.
so, right. And we were so used to that old way, pick one vocation and then you're going to do that. Right. And all of those things. And it's the flow is the key,
Yeah.
that you just flow, and you kind of ride that wave, and you do that one part to the best of your ability while you're still in resonance with it.
Yes.
And then you really do know, and you go, oh, okay, I think I've done this. It's okay. This is the part we have such a, oh my gosh, let it go. Because like you just said, am I allowing space now? I can let it go, knowing and trusting in my heart that the next best thing in my best and highest good must come into my space. And
Yes.
it's, yeah, are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to receive it? And I love that clearing the space is so, it really does, like, all the stuff in your house is energy. And if you're no longer in resonance with it, it it's occupying valuable space.
Yes. Yes. Valuable energetic real estate is what I like to
Yeah.
call it. And this is precisely why I developed the 21-day practice 4 years ago, was to help people start to create space to align to divine timing, to align to action steps to move forward, because it's very easy for us to get kind of stagnant and
Yeah.
stuck in a rut, right? Even the spiritual
Yeah.
practices feel a bit like going through the motions. Let me pull my goddess card. Let me write my affirmations in my journal. Let me make sure I go out into nature. It's like sometimes it can just feel like dull, right? We need to like
Yeah.
add some new vibrancy. And it's something that I enjoy to call pattern disrupt, right?
I
So we
love
want
that.
to change the familiarity of the day-to-day motions of doing, even our spiritual practice, and pattern disrupt, right? And so whether that is, right, I'm going to finally go through my wardrobe closet and get rid of the things that I literally can't fit into anymore because it's not resonance to my soul's alignment. I want to feel amazing. Your physical items that you wear on your body, your cosmetics, your creams, your lotions, your potions, this is in our auric space. So it's either brightening us, enlightening us, or it's dulling us, it's graying us, it's washing us out energetically and
Yeah.
emotionally. And so we really want to be very mindful as to the physical things that we own is through intention, right?
Yeah.
And that's including the box in the attic that's been there for 20 years on the off chance you might need it one day.
It's gone. It's
It's,
energetically, it's unplugged.
yeah, we want to create space in our emotional awareness of life and our physical external items, our food, our toiletries, the cleaning products that we use, our cars, our digital space, it's all an expansion of us. So, is what we have in our external field a true representation to the emotional state of us feeling our most abundant, joyful, happy, expansive, aligned, tapped in, turned on, soul purpose version of ourselves and our future vision manifesting through flow and grace and pleasure and play every day, or not? Most of the time, it's
It's
not. And
not.
we want to get there, but we want to create the space, right? And so
Yeah.
even not feeling like you have to do all of it at the same time, but even symbolically, like I'm ready to make a change in my life and I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm ready for it. I know intuitively that I'm being guided to greater things for myself. So open up a drawer and declutter. Symbolically, as I'm doing this, great spirit, higher self, whoever's listening, myself, my future vision, this is symbolizing I am ready for change and I'm going to take a different route, a different set of beliefs, a different thoughts, actions, reactions. And I'm going to do everything in my power every day to shift my emotional state. And if your spiritual practice is kind of dull, mix it up. Stop doing your affirmations, because if your frequency isn't matching your affirmations, just don't do it.
It's,
It's
yeah.
gonna be, it's just like it's a waste
It's
of
a
time.
task. It's a
It's a
task, and
task.
it's
Yeah.
you're not aligned. Yeah, I love it. I want to touch on one thing that you said, that because I know this helps so many people. Did you notice that when Zoe talked about going into your closet and saying, "Does this clothing resonate with my soul?"
Mm-hmm.
Notice she didn't say, "Go look in the mirror and say, do I still look the same as I did when I was in high school?"
Yeah.
Very important. It's soul embodiment, it's soul alignment. How does
Yes.
this feel? Does this resonate in my soul? And moving forward, this is everything. It's like, oh, my whole body is like got chills right now. The guides are
Yes.
like, yay. Because it's so important that we wait, is this resonating with my soul? Not is my
Yes.
who man. My who man is critical, right? Is gonna chop me to pieces. And it's no, wait, the most loving self-love, is this resonating with my soul? And anything
Yeah.
in your space. And what happens when you move that thing, you're no longer in resonance with your, the guides and angels are like, whoa, they gave us space. Let's dive in. Like they're ready to help bring to you. And I love that you said that pattern disruption. My guides take me through this a lot. And it's, you know what it is? It's trusting the unknown and
Mm.
hand the unknown over to them. They're here to support you. And like they'll do things like, I go to this beautiful beach, it's an hour from here, and I take the bus over. Well, I got to know the bus schedule, of course, and I had a specific route that I took. And one day, Zoe, I ran into someone I hadn't seen in years on the way there, and I had to let go of the whole timing. And I was like, nope, I wanted to see this person. I spent a few minutes, I took a different way, and then I got there. The whole systems were down. So, and I was like, oh, they're showing me trust in divine timing. I know I was guided to go here today. And it was so great because I had to put in practice my own thing. And the day unfolded into such beauty, the people that I interacted with along the way. And so now I deliberately, like, if I walk a certain way to the beach, I go a different way. I
Mm.
purposely allow that disruption, because you know what happens when we get used to something, you get complacent, you're no longer present. It's like if you can drive in the car, right? I'm no longer looking where I go, the car's driving itself. You're, so it's being present and in being present, noticing, okay, wait, am I getting into a pattern? And or am I allowing the new and choosing the new? Because I love the expression, this or something better,
Hmm.
because this does not bring better. This brings the lowest possible option comes from here. Infinite intelligence and right and the quantum field is the unlimited possibilities, and it is, can I tell you, in my experience, always better.
Mm,
Oh, always better and unexpected. And it's about really, it's aligning. So I love that. And I can imagine, and I, by the way, I love it. It probably does take 21 full days to really fully embody and engage in that process.
absolutely. They've done tests and studies on this that it takes 21 days to form a new habit and belief, and then 69 days of that continuous habit and belief that it's integrated. And it's like when you're a child, you don't think as a child, oh, I'm going to brush my teeth twice a day. You have to be told and reminded constantly by your carer to brush your teeth twice a day, right? And then you get used to brushing your teeth twice a day. Okay, this is a thing that I do, right? It's a new habit. So we are so used to being in the energy on a daily basis of what's not here, what's not working out, what's my purpose. We're constantly being bombarded with overstimulating information, the news, and it's all specifically designed to bring us out of focus to who we truly are, right? It's these divine cosmic creators learning mastery over matter. So we want to put enough focus into that direction so that that becomes our new state of awareness of who we are and our reality. And that's where the magic happens, right? But we're not doing this for external manifestation. We're doing it for internal alignment. The external stuff, sure, it comes in, money goes, money flows, relationships start, relationships stop, travel, sacred sites, all the things are so beautiful, but it's how we feel inside. And as you were saying about the clothing, yeah, it's what matches our soul, right? Not what
Yeah,
our bodies look like. We're just
yeah.
flapping meat sacks, really. Like, this is all we
It's,
are.
I love it. So stop criticizing your flopping meat sack.
Yeah. Yeah. I picked this up from a friend many years ago, and I thought this was so funny. It's like, well, we're nothing but a flapping meat sack. I was like, we kind of are. Human bodies are kind of funny. Like, we're kind of really funny. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a naked sauna, but everyone's got really funny bodies. Like, everyone's got something interesting about their body. Like, no one is perfect, and anyone that we think is perfect has been photoshopped and airbrushed. And especially with,
Like,
as
let
I
go of it.
said, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
just
exactly.
accept it and love it, and it's a miracle in itself. The way
Yeah,
the stuff it's doing is absolutely miraculous.
yeah,
Oh my gosh,
exactly.
too funny. So let's see who we got a full house in here. Does anybody? I can see the chat, Zoe, so I'll let you from the YouTube channel. Does anybody have a specific question that they would like to ask Zoe? Gosh, I love this discussion so much, Zoe. Thank you for being here. It's just,
Yeah, you're welcome.
um, and I love that you two, for me, making this experience lighter. It doesn't have to be so serious. It's not like a subject, like we're not getting a grade on this, and we can't mess it up.
Yeah,
It is all divinely orchestrated, and in that you can just kind of relax into it, right? And what are we creating? What are we creating in this now moment? It's what am I
yeah,
choosing? Am I right? And it's that choice. And when we're not choosing, what are we in? We're in that default,
yeah.
right? Which I call noodle soup. Now you're making a bunch of more.
Love it.
Yeah, the pots are boiling broth on the stove, and you're getting ready to throw the noodles in, and it's that, right? It's the sameness. And then, are you holding on to old noodle soup that's been in the refrigerator for 4 months? Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Oh, Linda wrote, need to learn to be the observer. Oh, I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, Zoe, can you give them, I know you've got many tricks for this. Do you want to share a way that we could be an observer.
Yes, the best way I can describe this is you're aware of your vision looking out into the world. And so to get focus on that, you're looking through your eyes at your hand so you can see your hand and like, okay, I'm aware of my hand. And then you're aware of the vision behind the hand. So in my case, I've got the laptop in front of me and then I've got the vision of the hand. And then I'm bringing my vision looking through my eyes. So almost imagine it in the middle of my head, and I bring my focus to the back of my head. So my focus of my consciousness is at the back of my head, looking through my head, looking through my eyes, looking at my hand. So it's almost like you can visualize the back of your head and then looking through at your hand. So that's the observer mode, right? When you go into that space, you're bringing yourself outside the vision of your perspective of your physical self, and you're reminding yourself of your embodied conscious self, right? Because our soul does not reside in the body. The soul is what lights us up, is what animates us, but the soul is everywhere, right? The soul is infinite, is expansive. So when you put your awareness into the back of your head looking through, then you start to ask yourself extremely self-aware questions. What am I really experiencing in this moment? Why am I choosing to respond the way I'm responding? Where did I perhaps not take care of myself today? Where did I forget to breathe? Where did I forget to slow down? What do I need to know in this moment? What do I need to learn about this experience? What do I need to do to move forward? So you can ask some of these really self-aware questions and be brutally honest with you. Be so honest that you're telling yourself the things that your ego would never want to admit to anybody else. It's just you. It's your consciousness and your ego. So you can have a chat. Okay, what's really going on? Right?
Oh, I love that.
So you can try that.
Yeah. I love that. Be present with, I just said this yesterday in a live. Be present with you. We don't fight the ego. We're not here to beat it with a stick. It's and when you're the observer, you can be present with it and just say, okay, what do I need to know? It's a messenger. Fear's a messenger.
Yeah.
Pain's a messenger. Can you be present with it? It's so funny. I was listening before we came on. I always love to listen to music. So I get a lot of guidance from songs. And I was listening to Pink, and she has a song that she wrote for her daughter called Perfect. And it's really cool. She says, "You're effing perfect," right? And there was a line that stood out, and I wrote it down to share with everybody. Change the voices in your head and make them like you instead.
Love that.
No, right? To do that, you must be, right? It's being present with it. So thank you for sharing that. I love that. It's, there's so many ways that we have the ability to become present, but I like that because it's easy to follow. All right. I know for like sometimes when you use the word visualization or meditation, that can make, right? Oh God, noodle soup's going off, right? I hear all the time, I'm not good at meditation, right? There's so many different forms of meditation. You just being in the zone, listening to music is a form. It's that, are you creating stillness within you?
Yeah.
And then from that point of stillness, observing, ooh, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Right?
And nor were we good at driving when we first started. We probably sucked at it. Nor we were probably rubbish at walking. We'd fall down on our bums and started half crawling. I mean, some babies develop a very strange way of getting around when they're first learning, right? Imagine if a baby said to itself, "Oh, I'm not very good at it, so let's stop trying," right? None of us
We'd all
would
be
have learned
crawling
any.
still,
Well, yes,
rolling around.
exactly. Right. And so it's like when people say to me, like, how do I connect with my guides? How do I open my third eye? Like, how do I feel more connected? I'm like, okay, what are you doing every day to learn? Well, what do you mean? That doesn't just magically like happen. I read that like this woman Stacy online got like really activated through her sleep portal. Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, for Stacy, but that's not happening for you. So what are you doing every day? What is your consistent and actionable steps? Back to that action again that is aligning you to what you desire. You desire to feel more connected. What are you doing every day to connect? You desire to open your third eye. What are you doing every day to open your third eye? You desire to, what are you doing every day? It's the micro steps every day,
Yes.
not these big, massive leaps. Sure, they're amazing as well. Go to your retreat in Bali, Go to your expensive breathwork sessions and your ice baths and your saunas. I love all this, by the way. And go to your yoga session. But what are you doing every day? Because if you're thinking and feeling in disconnect to who you truly are multiple times a day, all of this stuff that you do is absolutely obsolete. You're better off focusing on the small, actionable micro steps every day, and that will quantum leap you bounds forwards than any big task or actionable thing that you could do. So it's the baby steps, and it's so much easier to do a little every day. I'm going to do 5 minutes of journaling. I'm going to do a 2-minute meditation. Then you do a 3-minute meditation. Then you do a 4-minute meditation. And you do a 5-minute meditation. Maybe you start off with guided meditations. Then you try a music meditation. Then you try a walking meditation. Mix it up, change it up. Just do something every day, just even if it's small. And as I was saying before, if you're someone that you're doing all the things and you're not making progress, it's time to mix up your practice as well, right? If you're going through the steps like writing your affirmations, doing a journaling, doing a class. I've lived with women, they would just spend like 3 hours in the morning and they'd still be ungrounded and distraught. I'm like, why are you doing that?
Let it go.
Off. Let it go. Actually, just stop trying to be spiritual. Stop trying to connect. Just resonate with what feels good for you and give yourself some patience with the process.
Yeah,
right?
It's not logical. We don't shift through logic. We shift through feeling and alignment.
Yes.
And yeah, and I agree with that so much. It's if it feels like hard work, you're not meant to. It's not meant to be hard, and it's true. And it was like, like when I shared that story in the opening here, is that when you said you gave me that piece of guidance, go be still at the lake. You didn't say go be still at the lake and then you're going to do this and then you're going to write these 3 things down every day and blah 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 blah. And it's like, right, and it's, if your practice feels complicated, it means you've already overcomplicated it.
Yes.
You're not going with, how do I feel? Okay, this morning, what do I feel like doing? Today I feel like I'm going to take some deep breaths and go sit in the sun for a few minutes. And then the next day it might be, I'm going to do a longer meditation. And so, but when you get into, I have to, again, once you get into I have to, you already know you're out of alignment. And so somebody wrote in here, I think she might elaborate more about how to make the transfer from being stuck in a rut to being in the divine flow. Well, it's kind of like what we're just talking about right here. Instead of, first of all, we're never really stuck energetically. What's happening right now is we're multidimensional. Our consciousness is just leaping forward, right? And then all the other bodies, the emotional body, the energy body, the ethereal body, your physical body, are then having to integrate and align with, right? It's this embodiment process.
Yeah.
So even if you're human, if you're making a judgment that your human is stuck, this is where what she was just talking about, right? Instead of thinking, how do I make the whole loaf of bread right now? It's, okay, they call it mise en place in cooking. Let me get my flour. Let me get my salt. Let me line this all up, because I know in my heart, this is going to make a beautiful piece of bread. And they just brought into me, there's another ingredient, let me bring that in. And it's that, like you said, micro steps. It really is micro steps. And then all of a sudden, Zoe, I'm sure you've had this experience. Didn't you at one point look back and go, wow, I've been scaling this amazing mountain. You really do have an awareness then of how far, and there's times when there's a dramatic jump, but instead of looking for that, it's just really being present and going, here's the micro step. And that is so my guides bring it, they're saying now, stillness is the access point to acceleration. And that's really what you're describing. Just be still. And what's this easy step I can take right now?
Yeah, exactly. And
great question.
I almost feel like those little Yoda moments where it's like, just be less, do less, to be more, right? And let go of the mind overcomplicating the steps and just break it down to the micro moments of like, what's my next step? Okay, I'm not feeling great. Okay, what could I do to take care of myself today?
Yeah.
Like, sure, you'll go save the world tomorrow. You'll go live your purpose tomorrow. You'll go meet your partner tomorrow. You'll go make more money tomorrow. But in this moment, what is the micro step to help you feel better, to help you feel more joy, to help you feel more connected?
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
soul embodiment, and that is instantly aligning you with your highest available timeline right there.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
whole, it really truly is guidance, alignment, observation of self, and where am I now? Zoe, oh my gosh, this like we flew by like that.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
I could talk to you for 4 hours.
Oh,
Just, I love this discussion. I love where you're coming from and your perspective. It's in such
thank you.
alignment with, and I'm so grateful for the piece that you helped me put in place.
Oh, my pleasure.
Right?
Yeah.
What felt like a tiny breadcrumb at the time now I realize it was like opening of this infinite bakery that's here for me to now choose from.
Oh,
And
I
so
love that.
I'm like forever
Yeah.
grateful to you for that. And so, for anybody that does want to get in touch with Zoe, I did put her website in there, and you can sign up for her newsletter, by the way. And then just, I think from her website there, you can reach out to her. So grateful to share space with you this morning, and thank you for bringing your gift here to share with us today.
Oh, my absolute pleasure, Patty. It's been, yeah, it was really nice to connect with you and jealous of you in Mexico.
I
Love it.
know. I think my guides knew they're like, okay, the beach is very important in her journey. And
Oh,
it's,
yeah, love it. Love it.
it's so true. And it was something that I had to allow myself to do too.
Yeah,
I had my
beautiful.
home here a long time before I chose to actually give it to myself then.
Oh,
You know,
love that.
that
Love
was a
that.
great lesson in itself. So sending you big love. Thank you, you guys, everybody that's here. Thanks for being here and creating such a beautiful energy. And
Amazing. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
bye.